Hey there, and welcome. Let's talk trucking. You know, keeping your best drivers is everything, right? But what if the very tech they have to use every single day is the thing that's, well, driving them away? Today, we're going to dig into this huge, kind of hidden cost in the industry and talk about a new way of thinking, a digital bridge that's built to solve it. All right, let's get into it. All right, let's just start with a number. $1,080,000. I mean, look at that. That is the staggering annual cost of driver turnover for what you'd call an average fleet, just 100 trucks. And you got to understand, this isn't some line item on a spreadsheet. No, this is a massive drain on your profitability, whether you're running 10 trucks or 1,000. And here's the crazy reality behind that big number. A 90% turnover rate. Can you even imagine that in any other industry? It's almost unthinkable. And when you start adding it all up, recruiting, training, the downtime for the truck, the cost to replace just one single driver is just immense. Believe me, this is way beyond a minor headache. It's a full-blown crisis. So we really have to look at this differently. This isn't just some HR problem, you know? It's a $1 million operational problem. And it's all rooted in the day-to-day friction that just wears people down. And guess what? A huge, huge source of that friction is the tech the drivers are stuck using. I mean, just think about it for a second. Your driver might have one system for dispatch, a completely different one for their telematics and hours of service, and you know what they're probably doing? Just texting the dispatcher for any real-time updates. None of these systems talk to each other. It's just a recipe for delays, frustration, and a whole lot of inefficiency for literally everyone, from the guy in the cab all the way to the folks in billing. So that brings up a really important question, right? What if? What if you could just get rid of all that friction? What if all those different clunky pieces could actually talk to each other seamlessly on one single platform? What would that even look like for your business? And that right there is where this whole idea of a digital bridge comes into play. The goal is simple, really. It's to connect all these critical islands in your operation. We're talking about your transportation management system, your TMS, your telematics, and, the most important piece of the puzzle, your drivers. All of them, connected in real time. And this is what that bridge looks like. It's ASR Mobile, it's built on the Elios platform, which is super customizable, and it's designed to be that one single application that does it all. It brings together everything a driver needs, from their dispatch workflows to just simple communication, all into one simple, intuitive app. And yeah, it works on any phone, Android or iOS. Okay, so right about now, you're probably thinking, this sounds pretty complex. I mean, how do you actually get all these different systems that were never, ever designed to work together to, well, work together? Let's peel back the curtain and look at how it's built. It's actually pretty elegant. So here's the secret sauce. It all comes down to the ASR integration layer. The best way to think of it is like a universal translator for your whole operation. It securely grabs the data from your TMS database, the system that handles all your loads and schedules. Then it zaps that info over to the driver's app, and at the exact same time, it's pulling in real-time data from the truck's telematics. So this one central hub gets everybody speaking the same language. It just works. Now here's what's really, really cool about this. The flexibility. This is not one of those rip and replace deals. The whole platform is what we call telematics agnostic. And what that means for you is that it works with the top-tier providers you're probably already using. Your Geotab, Samsara, or PeopleNet systems. You get to keep the hardware you already have and trust, and this just makes it way, way more powerful. Okay, so the tech is smart, we get it. But what does this digital bridge actually do for you in the real world? What are the results? Let's get to the good stuff and see how this all translates into actual tangible benefits. So to make this super concrete, let's look at some real data from fleets that are actually using the platform. A lot of them pair it with a really powerful telematics solution like Geotab. And that combination, well, it gives us a ton of great data to really measure the impact. Get ready for this, because this one is a stunner. A data analytics study found something incredible, a lag in time to pay. So the time from when a load is delivered to when the driver actually gets paid, that lag was found to be up to 29 times more predictive of a driver quitting than anything else. Yeah, even more than the rate of pay. So by letting drivers instantly scan documents and update their workflow, ASR Mobile just crushes that lag time. It directly attacks the #1 hidden reason drivers leave. And hey, the benefits don't stop in the cab. They go right to the back office. By getting all that trip info and the proof of delivery paperwork instantly, some smaller carriers have seen a 40% drop in their days sales outstanding. That's just a fancy way of saying how long it takes to get paid. So, bottom line, you get your money way faster. And that's a huge boost to your cash flow. And this chart, wow, this really shows you the difference in communication. With the old, clunky platforms, it can take 2, even 3 minutes for a message to just get to dispatch. With ASR Mobile, we're talking about 5 seconds. 5. This is exactly why drivers on those old systems just give up and start calling or texting. The system is just painfully slow. Fixing this frees up your dispatcher's time and cuts down on driver frustration like you wouldn't believe. All right, so when you put all of this together, how does this solution really stack up against what else is out there? Well, the advantage becomes crystal clear, especially when you start looking at the total cost to own it and, maybe most importantly, its reliability. Let's just break this down point by point. First, the total install cost. It's less than half of the old school stuff. Installation time? It drops from like half a day of work down to about 15 minutes. Think about that. That's a massive win for reducing vehicle downtime. And then there's the big one, the failure rate. An 8% annual failure rate from competitors, that means constant replacements, constant headaches. Compare that to a failure rate that's practically 0 for the modern Geotab hardware this system uses. It's no contest. So, when you zoom out and look at the whole picture, it's pretty obvious, right? You're not just buying a better app for your drivers. No way. You're investing in a more reliable, way more cost-effective, and just more efficient backbone for your entire fleet. And the result? Less downtime, lower costs, and reliability that's pretty much perfect. And that really brings us to the final thought here. When all that friction is just gone, when your drivers are happier, your back office is running smoothly, and all your data is flowing in real time, just ask yourself, what could your fleet achieve? What kind of new opportunities open up when your technology is finally, truly working for you instead of against you?
So, if you want to see for yourself how this digital bridge could really transform your operations, you should definitely reach out and schedule a demo. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer.